to the disconnect, where the reconnection is the dialect. I am I Be Knowing, and I have my co-host.
Yes, Jay No.
Jay No.
I'm here. We here. We finna do a lovely episode.
It's gonna be absolutely fantastic today.
Yes, and if y'all didn't catch the other episodes, make sure you go back, check it out. We in here, we doing it major. We're gonna keep connecting the community and finding all these areas that's disconnected, and we're gonna make that connection, you feel me?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, but before we get started, let's definitely give a shout out to Wildlife Vodka. Drink responsibly though, you know. We here. So with no further ado, we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, so today's topic we're going to be talking about online dating. Yes, online dating. And we have a special guest today. We have Miss Nicole, a very, very educated lady, and she going to drop a lot of jewels on us today. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. So, so the thing is, you know, with online dating, you notice that the question is, I guess, is it harder to date online or is it easier to date in person? That's the question and concern that I have.
Well, I guess it just depends on the person, because some people find courage behind their dang on keyboard, right? They'll say some things that they would normally say in person, right? What you think, Miss Nicole? What's your take on?
I think it's either or. Like, you have people that have preferences. Some people's preference is to meet people organically, and some people's preference is to meet them online. I think when you're dating online, it's more of a numbers game.
Right.
And that's why you're swiping.
Right.
Like, you're swiping like, okay, you know, I think he's cute.
Right.
I might give him a chance, or, you know,
right.
I might give her a chance.
Right.
She's pretty.
Right.
Oh, let me see. Let me check their bio.
Right.
So it kind of gives you a little bit of an introduction that I think that initially when you're meeting somebody organically out and about, you're not going to have. You're not going to have, oh, yeah, I'm into poetry, I'm into this, I'm into science, or, you know, I like to laugh, I like comedy, or, you know, everything. So it gives you kind of like that introduction.
Right. Is that always a good thing, though, right? Like, what's the pros and cons of that? Or somebody already kind of knowing details about you upon approaching you? Like, what are some of the pros?
I think it does create a potential harm with some, you know, stalker. You know, to kind of just go online and just someone that's not being genuine and able to just kind of just off your profile. Oh, I know she likes this, and, you know, and kind of present themselves as a perfect gentleman. Right. So I think, you know, that's an issue. You know,
it's definitely an issue, because if you a person like maybe for example, if you're real spiritual, right? You're a spiritual person and your favorite color is brown, and you know, and this and that. He can automatically like approach you, you know, and already know like all these different facts about you upon like approaching you, and then we're so compatible. You think they compatible, but you was a whole case study, like before he even approached you. So it's
start texting you at 11:11.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, synchronicity. Yeah, this is synchronicity brought us together. You know, so I guess that's like some of the cons of it or whatever. But I guess the pros are you can kind of, there's still a pro too, because you kind of see what the person is kind of into if y'all kind of, you know, vibing. But you could be whoever you want to be on these social sites, you know.
See,
but it's a quicker elimination process too, I think. So it's like, and it's less personal. Right. You know, so it's not like, oh, I don't like you personally, because I don't know you personally. Right. I don't like what you said, or, you know, that outfit. Whatever, that was not my favorite color. Right. You know? So it's just anything that can kind of get you dismissed on there, and you're just kind of like playing the numbers. Right.
I agree.
And see, that well, on the flip side, we're playing the numbers. I think it gets drug out. I think you have a lot of people that's like, you know, you're kind of going, oh, I got so many options or potential options. Right. You know, and there's no real like, hey, let's actually go out. Right. You know what I mean? It, like, I think people become very, start to scrutinize, you know, and just be like, I don't like this little piece of what they say. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And so I think that kind of hinders the dating process. Right. You know? Right. I think when organically, like if you was to see someone, let's say back in the day before, when we had the right phone numbers down on a pen and paper, you know what I mean? Like when you met somebody or you met a person, like it was either do or die, or either we're gonna exchange numbers, or we'll probably never see each other again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think with online dating, you know, people kind of wait it out, and then their mind gets preoccupied, whatever, with life, and so you never really get a chance to make those connections as often, or just,
right.
It just kind of goes in a circle,
right.
a cycle,
I actually kind of prefer it that way though, the organic way. I like the whole, like, you saw me in the store, like same store, like a couple of times or whatever, and then you got the whole butterflies in your stomach or point, like, approaching the person, like, asking them like the first initial conversation, like asking the name, and stuff like that. I really just kind of miss that part of it. I think it's like you said, it was more personal.
Right. And I think that's an experience. Like, it can be a personal experience, but I think that online, just like when you're looking at people's Instagram stories or on YouTube, like, there's a part of it that they want to connect with you on a personal
right.
level, but there's another part where it's like there's a disconnect.
Right.
Yes.
You see what she did there?
I see what she did there. I see that.
Yeah. Clever.
It's kind of like that,
yeah.
that disconnect. And I think that in order to really connect to people, you have to have that physical part.
Right.
And I think that that's what's missing with
right.
that, because you can't really see a person's true intentions or, them really wanting to get to know you.
Right.
And everything. And I think it's just, I don't think that you can't find love in relationships online dating, because I think that that's just the society that we live in, and everything is going towards that way. But I think that it's kind of like, once you do the online dating, you kind of see each other and you're like, okay, well, let's go out on a date,
right.
whatever. Yeah. It's that interaction,
right.
that everything that happens next.
Right.
And I think that we do live in a fast food society, and we do have so many options and choices, especially here in America,
right.
where we can just kind of be like, okay, well, next,
yeah,
not this one, that one, or whatever. So I think that we just kind of have to do the dating and have to do the numbers to really see what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we were having a conversation off mic earlier where we were talking about people not really knowing how they want to be treated, or
right.
not seeing how, somebody treats them, and how does this make me feel.
Right.
So I think different guys come with different energy and
right.
different styles, different swag, different
walks of life.
Right.
Period. Yeah.
And if you're open to that part, then you'll kind of figure out what you like and what's acceptable for you,
right,
and what's not, and how you want to be treated,
right. Most definitely, and definitely when you coming into situations as such as that, you definitely have to know your boundaries, and you definitely have to know your deal breakers, and you definitely have to stick to those, right? And so it can't be like on the situation like, oh, he's so cute, or oh, I really like the way, I just overlooked that. Like, we have to stop overlooking red flags when it comes down to stuff like that, because it could really put you in a situation that you just don't really need to be in, right? So we got to really just kind of like stick to your guns when it comes down to stuff like that. So how do you guys feel about catfishing? Let's talk about it.
See, I was about to kind of come to something similar to that, but I mean, I think that's a potential issue too with online dating.
Right,
is the catfishing,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
all the filters on the pictures, really don't look like that.
Don't really look like that.
Right.
And I saw a video earlier today where they had a lady, and she was like a kind of heavier sister. Well, she was cute though. She was real cute in the face or whatever. But on her picture, she looked a little slender, and they was making it like they was making a big deal out of it, and she was like the guy, he wasn't very happy, and he kind of like was like very dismissive to her. He was nice to her there, but he was just kind of telling her like, and he kept it real with her. He was like, look, you don't look like your picture. You don't look like your picture, So she was kind of embarrassed about it, whatever. And they made a post or whatever, and they was all under the post. And when I tell you they was tearing her up, the internet just don't, like they don't hold no punches, right? So and baby, when I tell you they was tearing her down on that post, and so the catfishing is it happens a lot.
It's a thing, because we have this society that tells you what beauty is, and
That's
what's
true.
pretty, and what's acceptable,
That's
what's
true.
not acceptable.
That's true.
And unfortunately, that does come with the stigma of, okay, well, you're a little heavy, or you're a little this, or you're just a little that, or whatever.
Right.
So we do have our beauty standards. And sometimes, people put on that mask, and what you see when you're going on the internet, sometimes you're going to meet that representative, or you're going to meet that mask of that person. So she was trying to show her best self.
I guess she was trying, and from her angle,
how she perceives that it should be.
like definitely.
But in the reality, was the check.
Yeah, definitely the check.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question that I want to ask y'all. Do you believe it's ethically acceptable to just have face pics only when online dating?
I think you could date with no picture. Essence Atkins was saying she met her husband online and she did not even use a picture of herself in her profile. So she just, came with, her words, and that was how she was able to meet her husband at the time, dating online.
Right.
Because I think that sometimes people get too hung up on the picture, and I don't think that picture necessarily represents who you are as a person.
Right.
Right. Because you have some people that may aesthetically be beautiful, but on the inside
they're ugly. But I guess it just depends on what you're fishing for too, right? Because if you're fishing for a certain type of fish that you're fishing for, you might use a worm. Certain fish you fishing for, you might use a mullet. Certain fish, so it just depends on like what type of bait that you're using. Depends on like what type of fish that you're going to catch. So I think that you just need to know your audience, like kind of like what we spoke about earlier, like kind of knowing the type of people that you want to attract into your energy field, I guess,
Yeah, but I mean, I just think with the standard of beauty, for the last, 10, 15 years or so, it's been based on the Kardashians.
I agree. I totally agree.
In this standard of beauty. But when we trace it back even further, I think the Kardashians were trying to imitate the Twa. Yeah. Which are the Twa, the pygmy, the original man.
Right.
Which is that big butt.
Right. And the long, yeah.
Exactly. So, and then the standard of beauty, having the tan, brown skin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, we do have it kind of in a way that it's just like, this is what is perceived beauty.
Right.
And you had so many women paying right now to go get, butt lifts, butt jobs. Everybody
but you know what? But you ask some of these men, they say that they don't even really care about any of this stuff. It's women
don't care, but there's men like, okay, when you look at what's her name, Cardi B. Right? And if you look at her new video, it's directed by her husband, Offset, right?
Really? Okay.
Right. So he is pushing beauty. And what is he saying that is beautiful to him? A woman running around with a little bitty bikini is going to get men's attention. Right. And what does he want to see? He wants to see her behind, her breast, her this, her that. And he wants her to be looking like this way. So the media is the one that's pushing.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say statistics. I mean, I was gonna say that. I don't think the average man, and I can speak for myself. Right. Like BBL, like I can't stand a BBL. Right. It's annoying. It's agitating. You know what I mean? It's like why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why not love yourself for who you are? But I get society's put so much pressure on women to look beautiful, to look a certain way. And I used to say all the time, for a man, with a nice haircut, outfit, some cologne, and out the door. But the standard of beauty for a woman has to be, makeup, lashes, hair, nails. It goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? It's so much pressure instead of, accepting a woman for how they are.
Okay, so so it's a flip side to that too, though, right? Because these men will say, I want the real this, I want the real that, I want the real this, and that. So you have this woman that stripped herself down from all this artificial thing, right? And she's like, I'm just gonna thrive into my natural beauty, right? And then something goes on, right? And then you go on his profile, and then you get to looking at all the things that he's liking. Right. He's liking all the women without the aesthetics.
Yeah, exactly.
So what place does that leave the woman in, right?
Now the thing is, when we go wrong collectively, when we try to group everybody and say this is what all men, all women. Right. This is when we go back and forth. That's where the mistake is made. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there are dudes that's vain. Right. There are guys that are vain. That's vain. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time too, for those two guys. Now I'm speaking from a male perspective because I be around guys. This is a conversation that behind closed doors they have.
Yeah.
So that type of woman is just you have to remember that's some fantasy one night. You know what I'm saying? Type of woman. That's how they in their mind how they perceive. Now I'm not saying it's right.
Right.
This is not. I'm not. This is not a decision of what's right.
This is no right or wrong conversation.
No, it's not. It's
not. It's not a right or wrong. Yeah. But I'm letting you know the mindset of men. Like that type of woman, they're not.
So if that's his fantasy. So if I don't want to just be your wife, I want to be your fantasy too. So what is how does that look? How would they make you understand what I'm saying? Like because it's like if I gotta just be this normal and then I got to just deal with just this as being the norm or whatever, but then this is your fantasy, then I'm still up against something.
Right. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing is that there is competition, whether you are married or whether you are single, it's still a level of competition. Just like when it may be the situation where you're saying the average man,
that's
right? The average man might be like, okay, you know what? I love you how you are, but if you just lose like 20 pounds, I might love you a little bit more.
Hey, fellas in the comments, y'all chime in on this episode.
Listen, she ain't told a lie yet. I'm telling you, because it's true. It happens like that. Because I even by me being like a natural sister, right, with hair,
be like,
natural hair.
I love your hair, but
somebody told me that before.
Imagine if your hair was straight.
Somebody told me that before. No. And listen.
Those are lames though. Y'all dealing with lames.
And this is I would like to point this out too though. Only in our culture, right? Mm-hmm. The black man would ask the black woman to alter her natural beauty standards to something, because the white guy he accept the white girl with her blonde hair and blue eyes. He accept her in her natural form. Only ours will ask us to alter our natural forms to you fit into these standards of beauty, this Western civilization, right? But,
okay, that's a macro issue though. We know where that comes from.
Well,
that's all stemming from slavery and the idea of us all being taught to hate ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but a seasoned man, somebody who understands that with knowledge of self and able to recognize that, not even just recognize it, because you got to put that in practice, and you got to pretty much reroute your own mind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I can't lie. And at some point, I was in that space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then it took me a while to shift over to that, and then just really like, man, you know what? I like natural hair. This is what I like.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is a reflection of me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It took some time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people aren't at that space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Men or women. You know what I mean?
I think when we're saying that is that the perception is that, like, on the offset is, oh, well, we accept each other for how we are, but we don't. We look at somebody else and we look at, like, ways that we can improve upon that person. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? You are a sweet woman. Like, I can see you, being my wife, but you talk a little bit too much. Like, maybe if you was just a little bit more quiet, then I could be able to
It's offset the example. It's offset the example we should be using. That's offset. Come on.
He want to get offset.
Look, he's trying to get the bag, but I'm just saying that he's got the standard of beauty that he's, like, using his wife to portray. And since she is somebody that we know is done up and who has had these surgeries to enhance her look, why is she doing it?
Right.
Well, she wasn't doing it because she was a beautiful girl to begin with.
She was, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't necessarily that. It was because of, just take Lil' Kim, for instance.
Oh, she was so pretty.
She came out, she was a pretty woman.
Yeah.
What's nothing wrong with her. But then it was like, oh, you know what would make you look better? If you fix your teeth. Oh, you know what would make you look better?
Right.
Well, if you had a smaller nose, that would make you look better.
Right.
Oh, you know what would make you look better? All you need is, like, some bigger tatas.
Right.
You know what would make you look better? Well, you know what? Everybody, has big butts.
Right.
That's what sells.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we're taught, that this is sexy. This is what sells.
Right.
This is what's good. This is what... this is enhancement. That if you have this, then this is going to put you,
Right.
And who doesn't want to be, attractive?
But you know what? And even I'm gonna take it a step further. Even go before that. When you have family members that crack certain jokes, right? And that's traumatizing, right? Because we spoke about this before. When you think about when I think about the movie Color Purple, right? If you can remember in the beginning when her dad told her, Celie, you has the ugliest smile on this side of creation. And then what did she do for the whole movie? She kept covering up her smile, It made her feel, she felt insecure about the way that she smiled. So a lot of times it be family members or your loved ones or siblings, and stuff like that, cracking certain jokes. And it's funny to them, but they don't really understand how you're internalizing it. So a lot of that kind of stem from that too, where people feel like they just need to kind of make, those type of adjustments and stuff for themselves, So
and that standard of beauty.
Right.
And then all of it comes down to, I know we started talking about online dating and catfishing, but it also comes down to just loving yourself. Like,
absolutely.
if you love yourself enough,
that's the disconnect. That's the disconnect right there.
Yes.
Loving yourself.
If you love yourself enough, then none of that really can hinder you in that way.
Right.
You know,
right.
because it's like, you know what? I like me. I think I'm a pretty dope person.
Right.
I like how, how I deal with situations. I like how I,
right.
come in. I like how I internalize.
Right.
But you have to have a like and a love and a care for yourself.
Right.
Before you can expect anybody else that you deal with to be able to handle you or to handle you in a way that you want to be handled,
right.
or to
absolutely.
receive you in a way that you want to be received.
Absolutely.
And if you can't, get that, then you need to just...
You don't need to be dating. You don't need to be dating.
Yeah, you need to go on and swipe right.
Yeah, yeah. Go lick your wounds and get help and heal.
Man, I always say that you should learn yourself first. I believe in it.
Yeah.
You got to learn yourself. Learn what you love. Learn what you don't like. And
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Before even trying to get to know somebody else.
Right.
Somebody else.
Right.
So
and know that you're not gonna be everybody else's cup of tea.
That part. Yeah.
Somebody he may not like big women.
Right.
He may like, slim
That's
women.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
That's a lie.
Right.
It very well. It may be, but I'm just saying, everybody is not everybody else's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
If, somebody doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever. It doesn't make you any less of a person.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means
it's
that,
your preference.
Right. And people are allowed to have preferences.
Absolutely.
And I think that, with online and with dating period, I think that people internalize things too much.
They make it personal. They take it personal.
Should let it go.
Yeah.
Right.
And they make it, into like a personal attack.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, I might not be your cup of tea.
Right.
Some women like long hair.
Right. Right.
Some people might like long hair.
Yeah.
Right?
Like that Richard hair. Like,
that Richard hair. Absolutely.
I would say this from my personal experience is that once I started learning and feel like the pressure that women have on themselves, I truly and I genuinely and I honestly 1,000% mean this. I think every woman is beautiful in their own way, in their own nature. There's no, I prefer red bone, thick or slim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or she got to be chocolate. None of that. Like, I think, what I'm saying, there's beauty, and people fail to realize the beauty because they are honing into that standard of beauty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of seeing the different beauty in each person. You know what I mean? So, and I mean that 1,000%.
Right.
Well, that's beautiful.
Right. So, yeah.
And I know I'm rare in my thinking because as the more I have these conversations with people, I know.
Yeah.
I know it is. You know what I mean? So,
that's just kind of like being aware.
Right.
And that's good because that's an attractive trait.
Right.
For people to be aware, because I think women are beautiful too.
Right.
And I think brothers are really beautiful.
Right.
Like, I've seen some amazingly beautiful.
And we have to we have to be okay with complimenting each other, because I will compliment another woman and say, you're pretty, this. I don't ever feel like intimidated in the presence of another woman. I'm okay with complimenting other women, and it doesn't make me homo, or none of that, but
it doesn't, because number one is we all are created, by the Creator, and we're all individuals and we're all different,
right?
And we all have something to offer,
right? Absolutely.
So, I think that it's just getting outside whatever of the thinking that just because the media is portraying that this is the beauty. I love what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was really how we should see each other.
Right.
We should see each other as beautiful creatures.
Right.
And just kind of have like a level of respect. But I think that comes because this brother obviously respects himself.
Right.
When you respect yourself and when you love yourself, it's easier to give love.
That's true.
It's just a natural thing.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing to give respect when you respect yourself.
What they say, as above, so below, as within, so without.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
wow.
Absolutely.
See, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
what it is.
So well, she addressed the disconnect.
You did. If you remember, if you can repeat it again before we close out.
So what's the disconnect? The disconnect was... You remember what you said?
Look, she done forgot. She done,
love yourself.
Love yourself. Like yourself first. And we just said that again.
Yeah.
We just said when you love and you respect yourself,
Yeah.
it's easier for you to give that love and respect.
Absolutely.
And it's easier for you to demand that love and respect, whether you're dating online, in person. if you're dating yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Whoever you're dating, whoever you're entertaining and you're having this experience with, you know, it's so easy to do when you know what it looks like and when you can just have that mutual respect and admiration for each other, and you can kind of be like, you know what, that's dope. I appreciate what you're doing.
Right.
This is like a really good, you know, conversation, a great forum to have where you can kind of discuss what's going on, especially in our community, and addressing it as far as like there is a great big disconnect. We just touched on a little teeny tiny part of it.
And hopefully this is not our last show with Miss Nicole. We would love to have you back. We love you have really great energy. You have a lot of knowledge, and I know you have so much more to give, right?
And I really appreciate you guys for allowing me this space to spend some time with you and to participate with your Disconnect podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that you guys are building this and you guys see the need and you're bringing it together so that everybody can kind of get like a little bit of piece of you guys.
Absolutely.
So this is very special, and keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So we didn't do you ain't know that.
Okay, so you ain't know that. You ain't know that. I'm gonna tell you what you ain't know. You ain't know that like during like the Shakespeare times, right? They actually wasn't allowing women to play like roles like in these plays and stuff. The men actually did that. There was the men that actually wore the wigs. It was the men that actually wore like the makeup and stuff or whatever. And they would always have to play as the females, like the gender or whatever. So even when we look at the women and stuff and the things that we wear today, it kind of stems from that, you know. So a lot of people ain't know that. Did y'all know that? You ain't know that. You ain't know that. You ain't know that. You ain't know that. But anyway, that's really going to conclude the show. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Is there anything that you do that you like to let people know? You know, maybe
social media
I heard you sell insurance or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I do insurance. So if you want to reach me, you can reach me at NicoleWillInsure@gmail.com if you're interested in a quote for insurance.
Absolutely. What kind of insurance?
I do life.
All right, life insurance. Y'all better get y'all some life insurance. Everybody needs insurance. We are tired of selling dinners to bury y'all, especially y'all that be on camera with your guns and the money to your ear and stuff like that. Y'all get with Miss Nicole and get y'all some life insurance, okay?
Yes, indeed. And so as we go, we got to build on that too. That's got to definitely be another topic.
Definitely gonna have to be a topic.
The whole point,
you know
the purpose of life insurance.
We really should. We really should.
Because that's a disconnect. People don't think we need life insurance, and that's another form of wealth.
Right.
Generational wealth. You know what I mean?
It is. It's a tool that can create wealth, and it's also a tool that can save families.
Right.
Because just because you're not here anymore, it doesn't mean that your family's not here.
Right.
Somebody's going to be here picking up the pieces.
Right.
And you don't want to leave things a mess.
Absolutely.
Really
Absolutely.
Don't.
Right. So that's wonderful. Yeah. So as we get ready to conclude, we doing like black folk, you know. All right, we about to go ahead and go. All right, we're going to go ahead and go.
Look, we acting like the pastor on Easter Sunday. You know, the pastor keep on going because I really enjoyed this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I hate it got to come to a close because I really feel like the Easter pastor on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
You want to go home and go eat, and then we just keep and
going.
another thing. And another well, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all go. Well. But
yeah, so check us out. Facebook, TikTok.
You
go?
No, go ahead. You got it.
All right. Facebook, TikTok, The Disconnect Podcast, IG, The Disconnect Podcast _. And that's it. And once again, we thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you. And thank you again, Miss Nicole.
Thank you. Peace.
Ooh.
2 fingers touching. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting about that.
She was on it.
I keep forgetting
right,
about it.
because this is peace.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the disconnect.
Generational trauma, from grandma to mama, from sons to fathers. We go harder, we go farther. If not, why bother? If not now, when we gon' win. Ain't fucking no commas, but we got a problem and we need to solve them. They keep revolving, feel they evolving. Not only physically, mentally, we bleed. Free counseling is the reparations we need. Verbally free, PTSD, race hating, segregation, bodies hanging. and more PTSD. That generation raised XYZ. We getting back to ABC. Back to the basics when we gon' face it. We is amazing, breaking this maze. So keep up the pace and run this race.
Lord, hold my hand while I run the race. Lord, hold my hand while I run the race. Lord, hold my hand while I run the race. Lord, keep me praying while I run the race.
I have learned to piece together pieces that you broke. I can see through all of the deceitful things you wrote. I have managed cracking all the secrets to the codes. You swerved into my lane like you were sleeping on the road.